Next, I will be answering part B of option 4, which is asking you to discuss the alternative policies that governments can pursue to deal with each of these market failures. So, as discussed before, market failure refers to the market's inability to allocate resources efficiently. Thus, too much or too little of goods or services are produced relative to the social optimum. Would be here. So, one market failure discussed was merit goods, which are considered among positive consumption externalities. So first, a way to deal with this would be through legislations. Legislations could promote the consumption, which are considered among the positive consumption externalities. So what we would see if legislations were to take place, the MPB curve would shift rightward, so it would come along here, and it would cause it to become closer to the social acceptable or social optimum, which is where I just circled. Thus, the welfare loss would be smaller rather than this whole area. It would just be this small area. So it would show some beneficial change in the welfare loss. Okay. Next, another one could be the direct government provision, which would use to influence the supply, and it's the concept of the public sector. So this would be seen up here. It would shift the MPC curve up with the use of tax. So both of these have advantages and disadvantages. The advantages is that the allocative efficiency is achieved as Q optimum is produced here. So society allocates the right amount of resources, and then another positive effect would be subsidies are market-based solutions that can internalize the problem and control it. And the disadvantages would be that the solution relies on tax revenues, so the price would be marked higher, and the size of the externality is difficult to measure. Now, a way to deal with the public good issue would be to provide public goods by the government and financed out of tax revenues that are made available to the public free of charge. And so what would happen would be the government would need to know what to provide and how much, and this would be seen here as well, how there would be the only way for the government to actually do this would be to enforce a tax, because without a tax, the government there would be no money for them to use, because the government wouldn't be benefiting, they would only be hurting from the situation of them coming in and helping. So an advantage of this would be they could provide benefits for the people who don't have access to certain goods that are essential, like infrastructure, which is a positive externality. And then the disadvantage would be that taxes are placed on products at a higher rate. It's here. So, in conclusion, hopefully those will allow you to see alternative policies that the governments can pursue to deal with each of these market failures.